Hi all, PJ Dagger here. Basically I find myself having less and less time to delve into the editor and do much with it anymore, so the free time I've got I'd like to try and make a series of short videos. That's pretty optimistic, short. Um, Basically I just want to pass on some knowledge. I've gained a bit of knowledge of the editor over the years and I feel I should try and pass some of that on. Okay, so basically I'm in Call to Arms editor, not the off-front one, just the basic Call to Arms. And I've opened up, I think it's USA campaign mission number 2, the map for it. I'm going to use it as a base here, so I'm in F3 in the editor mode. This is where you typically put your units. So at some point, if you're building a map, you might want to put a mission on it. And one of the things you really want to do is be able to call in some reinforcements with buttons and stuff. So basically this video, we're just going to go through the basics of that. So to get this rolling, we'll put some units on the map. So what am I putting down here? Some Germans. Doesn't matter for this sample. I've highlighted them and Control T to bring up the tag box, and I'll name them squad_01. Add that. Also call them hidden. The hidden tag is basically makes them inactive on startup. I put down another squad here while we're in here. For this example, we'll have two squads to call in. Highlight them, Control T, hidden, and squad_02, and save. We'll call it test. Okay. So next, what we want to do is we'll want to add a button. So still in F3, we're going to press F9, brings back up our mission properties, same place where we did the player. And here we'll go to reinforcements, and we'll add, right click to bring that add up. So right click, press add. We're going to call it squad_01. I like to keep a naming convention. You'll see how it all comes together and makes things a lot easier if you do some pretty simple naming conventions. Okay, so we're going to have an event start here. Clicking on there. In our events, we're going to add an event. We're going to call that again squad_01. Okay, that. Now, we want an image for our button. So to find images, if you go into your Call to Arms folder, resource, into interface. Now I'm using WinRAR to open this. Now, so just in the interface folder, you'll find scene and unit icon. And here's a list of all the little icons the game uses for the buttons on the right there. So the name pretty generic, so I already know this, what I'm looking for is going to be like squad 1, and it's going to have German in the brackets. So back to here, I'm going to name it squad 1. The wrong button there. Like that. Okay, oh, here we make the count. This is how many times you can use the button. So I'm going to set that to -1, which means it can be used infinitely. Okay, I'm going to OK that. Oh, we should add a waypoint number in here. We haven't put any waypoints on the map yet, so we'll call it O. That's going to be the first one that's placed. In waypoints, I'm going to add my waypoint O. save that. And we'll do a test, start it. Okay. So we got a button there. Press there. There's, I move that. Okay. So that's putting that waypoint wherever I click, which is what we want. Okay, finish that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write a trigger. So basically, every time we press our button when we run it, it's going to trigger that event we created. So going into triggers here, I'm going to right click in there and add. Call it spawns. Yeah, spawns. I'm going to that player and squad underscore 01. Okay. Now by using the little slash in there, that creates a folder system here basically. So if I get a whole bunch of different things added into a mission, I can categorize them basically. Okay. So this is our trigger. Right click in there, we're going to add an event. Going to be squad 01 event that we added when we made our reinforcement button. Okay, so always like to add a small delay in here. Now we're going to use in other, going to go act at a waypoint. Okay, we're going to make the waypoint 0. Going to be cloning these guys. I'm going to leave the approach as it is. I'm going to change this to advanced. I'm going to untick nor captured by user. Right click in there with advanced, add group. I'm going to select tag, squad 1. Going to right click on include and go down to state and inactive. So squad 1 inactive, that's our hidden guys we're talking about. Now we're going to exclude the state of dead. It's a good habit to get into. Okay, so save that. Gonna add another delay there. Going to use an entity. Actually, we'll leave it here and I'll show you some of the pitfalls. Actually, I'll add a trigger and our squad 1 trigger. We're turning that off when we start so we can call it again. The only thing missing here actually is we add an event. For this event that gets called, we want to turn that off again too. Otherwise, it'll keep firing over and over and over. Set that to reset. Save. Our guys here, we're going to make them all, instead of the control by AI, we're going to make that user. Difference between AI, setting it to AI and user is that if you set it to AI, you're not going to use ammo or anything. You're going to have unlimited ammo, but user is for the player, basically, gives unlimited ammo. Save, test, start. Okay. They will wander over there. And if I click over here, again. But what you'll notice is, once they first wander to their spot, they're all going to go to the last point on the map. Now, they've all got the same tag and we're all going to head back over there. How do we prevent that? Okay, back to our trigger. I'm going to add entity state, entity state, So we're going advanced, we're going to untick captured by user, add a group, select the tag squad 01. This time we're going to exclude the state inactive. We're going to include, it's probably worth doing, and I need to update those other couple of commands here. It's going to be player O. We might do a similar one for, we might have a squad 1 who's actually player 2 later, whatever reason. Right, so we're going to remove squad 101 tag. Copy that delay, so we've got a space here between everything. Just going to add here in my acted waypoint, I'm going to include player 1. Okay. Save it. Get in the habit of saving it. So when I call them in, their tag has been, but what you'll notice is, even though they no longer have the tag, they're not getting that second order, but it's one of the game engine flaws, because that's going to get here, they're going to realize the waypoint's not there. Their command is that they've still got that's happening is go to waypoint O, so they're going to make their way over there. We've still got the issue, it still exists. You've probably encountered this if you've done a little bit of scripting and you're wondering what the hell's going on. It's just one of the nuances of the game engine. But there is a way around it. It's not perfect, but I'll go through what the differences there are, and that's finish. Okay, so back into our trigger. We're going to add a actor action. Okay. And in selector, going to be, again, it's going to be our advanced group, tag, squad 1. Going to exclude the state of dead, exclude state of inactive, and going to again include player O. Okay, so this will be our guys that just spawned in. We're going to move this up to there. I'm going to add another delay by copying that existing one. To move things up, you just simply hold Alt with whatever selected. Hold Alt and then use your up and down arrow keys to move it position. So I'll put a delay between each of those actions I want, each command. Okay, so back to my action. I've selected those guys again. I'm going to drop orders, which will cancel out the original acted waypoint. The action will be, we can use advance, and have the target again will be waypoint 0. Click OK. Save. Now, let's see what happens when we click multiple positions. Okay, so they're not all running back to the last point. You might think, brilliant, excellent, you've solved the issue. There is a compromise. I'll show you what the compromise is. I will just finish that. Okay, so what's this compromise I'm talking about? Okay. To help illustrate it, I'm going to put some enemy units on the map. I'm going to press just 1 on my number pad, so when I place them, they should be automatically assigned to number 1. I'll just put guys on the map here. Don't need many. So press F1 so I could just place them around randomly here at the moment. Save. So basically just some enemy there on the map. So start. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly edit this. Just going to, on the action, I'm just going to hold control. I'm going to click on it. And I've basically turned it off. We're going to turn those two off. So all we're going to be happening right now is we're going to have the active waypoint firing. So all these guys up to this point. See what happens. Speed it up. Going to move up there. They're going to see the enemy. Going to take cover when they see them, but they're still going to be trying to approach the waypoint. Each time they encounter enemy, they're going to take cover. So, finish that, and this time we're going to turn back on the original commands and see what the difference is. So, start, check that they're on. Yep, they're not turned off. Again, I'm going to send them up the back there. On speed. And you'll notice as they encounter the enemy, they don't slow down, they don't stop, they just charge through. Very reminiscent of what happens in conquest mode with the enemy, I believe, or led to believe that conquest mode just uses a move order or an assault order, similar, an action. So that's the compromise. Basically, I would consider that if you're playing the game yourself, you're aware of this, you're going to use your guys and you're going to direct them. You're going to take control of them. You're going to avoid that sort of issue. I mean, you may come across it if you're in a big map. You might run your guys into harm's way, but it's something to be mindful of. Now, you remember we have a second squad here. So what we can do is we can add another waypoint. Save that. I could simply just right click on there and copy that command, then go through each of the copy and change that, match the squad 02. Another way to do it is to open your mission file. So if you know where it lives in resource map, single, it's test mission 2, it's test map. Okay, so I've got Notepad++ here, and if you get a pretty good understanding of the mission file itself, you can quite easily, for example, I'm going to Control F to bring up my search box. If I put ring, I don't need to type the whole word, I've got that. So here's my reinforcement button. I find it easier to edit in, quicker to edit in here than it is to waypoint will be 1. Also, I could do all this in game. You're going to need another event. And triggers right there. Now I've highlighted that. And just go replace squad 01 with squad 02. In the selection, replace all. The waypoint. Save that. And by simply going back in my mission, press reload. And there's my second one. Press start. Something's out of place. My reinforcements. There's waypoint 1. Ah. Here's what I missed. We got to be careful. Here I changed it to 1, but in the action I left it as 0. There you go. Of course, you don't have to know how to use the notepad or a Word text document. You could always just simply go copy. Say we had a third squad. Go into the event. You'd have to add. You highlight one. Then go add. Keep the name in there for you, so that saves a moment of typing. And you just go through and edit all your values all the way through. I'd add another waypoint in there instead of, so make it waypoint 2. Waypoint 2. Three. And then you'd also have to go into F9 and you could copy that as well. And you'd want to make that squad 3 and squad 3. Whoops. See, this is where it gets tricky. You got to be watching what you're doing. Or you can stuff it up. So all little pitfalls you can fall into, and it can take you a fair bit of time to work out what you've actually done wrong. So I'll place some more units. I will put some engineers, maybe a sniper or 2. Give them the tag squad _ 03 and hidden. And that third waypoint. And we've missed something in there, so probably in the active waypoint because they didn't spawn, so I obviously missed something in here. Probably there, player O. There's the issue. That's all it'll be. There you go. Once you've done one and got it functioning, it's easy to make copies and multiply them for more units. Okay. There you go. I hope that helps get through some of the basics. I'll expand on this in a future video and stuff, but that's some basics for now. Cheers, guys.